Okay, quite frankly, I didn't want to be here. Hi. But you asked for this. What it is I've been painting all day. I've got to get some more of the what are they called? Cacophony, but they're not called that. What are they called in 40k? Chat. What are they called? Cacophony. Painting more of them in time for Saturday and another character. So I've got today, tomorrow and the next day to get them done. I've also got to edit a video and stuff is happening tomorrow as well. So I've been painting them all day. Noise Marines, thank you. And then this evening I was supposed to record an STC because we haven't done an STC for a while, but then Warsmith Chris bailed on me like the goddamn pussy he is. And we're gonna record it tomorrow, but I was kind of hoping on recording the STC today to give me a break from painting the Noise Marines all day, because quite frankly I can barely see. I had to turn off the audiobook and I've been listening to a bit of Warzone Verdansk talk in the background. My shoulder's killing me and I needed a break from all the painting to record the STC with Warsmith Chris, and he bailed on me. Yes, he's got a child, chat, he's got a child. I know, he's a new father, and that's why he's been absent from the STC. And I like chatting shit with Chris on the STC, and I was looking forward to rekindling our bromance and recording another thing, and the break and the eyes and the shoulder, and he bailed on me. And on yesterday's live stream, chat asked for more of me, so you're getting more of me because I need a break and I'm in a chatty mood. I was ready to talk about, what was our subject? Our subject, chat, I'll get you in a minute, okay? I'll get you a subject today. You can see I barely used my voice today as well. It's all croaky and stuff. Our subject today was going to be the top 5 heretic Astartes legions, because we're doing the top 5 thing. Thanks. I do sound knackered. Look. Don't tell her, but if you've seen yesterday's live stream, I'm wearing the same clothes that I wore yesterday. I haven't even showered. I got up, had breakfast, started painting. Oh, and I edited. Was it you, Eternal Crusader, who asked for more? This is your fault. You asked for this. So yeah, I got up and then I had breakfast and I started painting, except for a break around lunchtime for lunch and to edit Sunday's video, which should be, unless there's any rendering issue. Yeah, it's you, Eternal Crusader. It's your fault this is happening. Sunday's battle report, which is going to be with Luton. Winter's SEO, Luton, 3,000 points. Very exciting. I had some Rivita with Philadelphia, okay? Going all out there. And then started painting again. And I was looking forward to the break and talking about the top 5 Heretic Astartes legions with Warsmith Chris. But no, instead, the Eternal Crusader said, can we get more of you? So here am I. And I even wrote down from the live stream yesterday, like that dice roll rant that I have. I still haven't done that, because that is a good short. Whoever came up with that idea, I'm sticking it up there. And if there's any other clippable moments in this today, then let's get to the clippable moments as well. But I need the break. I need to, honestly, 1 minute. I gotta stretch a bit. Yes, I'm in my gym jams. I gotta stretch. See, you've got to stay hydrated as well. And that's how much water I've got left since painting. The last time I walked downstairs, which was like, I don't know, 6, 5:30. And so I'll run out of water at some point, and then I think the live stream's over. But unless we keep each other amused, who knows? I need a break. 1 minute, let me stretch. Then we'll talk to chat, okay? You asked for this kind of content, guys. This is the top tier content that you get from professional YouTubers. Please don't tell her that I haven't changed or showered or anything since yesterday, please. I intended to after lunch, but I got locked in. The Eternal Crusader, welcome to the 13th tier 2. You absolute legend. Thank you. Tier 1, you get all the emojis, guys. Thank you to all my subscribers. Thank you to all the members. Thank you to all the Mug Club members. Thank you to all my patrons. Thank you, everyone who helped keep this kind of beautiful content going. Thank you, Just Craig, for your 24 months. Well, we're glad to have you, Winters, even if Chris doesn't appreciate you. Screw that guy. I need a stretch. Touch the toes. Are you purring? He's the cat is in the house as well. He's down there. I think he's purring. Let's go in for purr cam. See, normally on a Tuesday, it's all professional and everything, right? You don't get this back to the scenes, behind the scenes sort of shenanigans. I think he's purring, so let's extend. Because cats and the internet. 1 minute. Hang about there, chat. Is this thing still plugged in? Can you purr to people? You're not hearing any of that, are you? But I promise you, it makes me happy. Keeping a pussy happy is one of the pleasures in life. 1 minute, we'll be with you. Stretch. Pretend you're talking to Warsmith Chris. Right. Is this thing on? Let's jump into with chat. Hi, it's me, your host, Winters SEO. Welcome to this Talky Tuesday. No. Damn it. Something Wednesday. Winters Wednesday. No, we have the Winters Wednesday live stream. The wonderful Winters when Purge the Heretics. 10 out of 10 content and heard it all. Brilliant. Tiny Pervs. Waffling Wednesday. I don't know where waffling came from. Okay, Warsmith Chris. Why do you like the Legion with the worst Primarch? I know. Why does he like Iron Warriors? What's wrong with him? Spent 20 euros on a model for 1 bit to add to my Thousand Suns Demon Prince kit pash ideas can get out of hand. Dude, just Terran Terminators from Forge World. 50, 60 quid for a box of 5 and it doesn't come with arms. And then you get your Just Terran Terminators and you realise you have to spend another 20, 30 quid on the weapons. And 5 Just Terran Terminators. I think it was like with delivery, 96 quid. I mean, what? Apparently 3D printing is a thing. How's the 13th Winters? Are they still crusading? Yes, they're coming out on the Battle Report this Winters Wednesday. No, Sunday with me versus Luton09, small YouTube channel. You might have heard of him. Lovely guy. There's Spenny, but dear Lord, do they pull some weight on the table. I don't know what you're talking about, Just Craig. Have another coffee, mate. Hi, what did we ask for? Eternal Crusaders in the chat somewhere. And after the live stream yesterday, he was so amazed by this kind of content that you are receiving in your brain right now, this content, when of all the other content that you've got the internet at your fingers. You've got so many cat videos at your fingers. Penguins falling over. You've got the whole of YouTube, but instead, the Eternal Crusader said he wanted more of this, so here I am. And Warsmith Chris let me down because he was supposed to do a podcast, an STC, and he bailed because apparently children under the age of 1 can't look after themselves. Why do we even get them? Why don't we wait and pick them up when they're like 8 and they can play with Legos and Warhammer? I second this additional stream. Pierre, don't encourage him. Hey, a second live stream, let's go, says Marius Gave. Marius, you don't need any encouraging too. If you ever feel ripped off by Games Workshop, just look at New Zealand's. Yes, dude, New Zealand. I mean, I feel sorry for the Americans. 1, they have to live in America. And 2, it's about 20% more expensive than anything here. Mind you, I feel like sorry for the people who live in England because 1, they have to live in England. Dear, but New Zealand is like double the price. There's New Zealand somewhere in the chat. Who's someone from New Zealand? Have we got Stuart in? Paco the Taco Bender has gifted a membership. Thank you, Paco the Taco Bender. He was here last night as well. You remember the conversation, Paco, last night. Can I just call you Paco going forward? Or the Taco? I mean, it should be like your name instead of Paco the Taco Bender, by the way. It should be called the Taco, exclamation mark. Like if there is a taco in town, you are the taco. If you're going to be Paco the Taco Bender, own that taco. Take that taco. Take control of the taco. Make the taco yours. Be King Taco. King. Taco King. Go for the top. Or Taco Emperor. The Taco Emperor. That's a handle. The Taco Emperor. Right there. England, Britain is great. It's in the name. Really? Winters, you need to do another update video on your 13th. I really do. I do need to do another update. Do you mean a story time one? I've got some ideas. I've been getting some ideas for some story time videos bubbling around in my head for the 13th. Some good ideas too. I just need the time and the space and enough alcohol to knock one out. Has the Legion of the Damned disappeared? Love those models. The Legion of the Damned are still a thing. They're probably legended like all the other cool things. No doubt they'll be Primarchified and come back to a Games Workshop near you soon, or maybe what. They're doing Space Wolves now, right? What's left? They've done the Dark Angels, they've done the Blood Angels. Raven Guard and Space Wolves need to be a thing. White Scars, the individual Black Templars, we've had them. What are the standalone codexes? Once they've done all of them, we'll get Legion of the Damned. See, he's here. Damned Legion. He's here. There he is. He's right there. Marius points out that he's still not over. I promised us a Guilliman with the 13th arc. I did. I have an idea for the 13th. It involves meeting Guilliman and or the Lion. The idea's evolved. I think it's the Lion instead of Guilliman. I could tell you the synopsis, but it will spoil things. Mind you, this story time might come out in about 5 years. When are you going to do a grand narrative lore campaign? Well, thanks for asking. The next grand narrative lore campaign is a live campaign at Element Games in Manchester on the 27th and 28th of September. I am running a 2-day narrative event. I think there's 100 players. Last time I checked, there was about 12 tickets left. And it's a 2-day event, and you get to take part in my grand narrative. I'm running it with James from archofwar.co.uk. He's doing all the organising and all the important stuff, all the behinds and all the paying, and making sure that there's food, lunch for both the Saturday and the Sunday provided in the ticket cost. He's all the things he's doing, and I'm writing he's doing all the hard work, and I'm just using my genius to come up with all the stories and things. And it's a 2-day narrative event, which I'm running. And it's 4 2,000-point games. See, this is exactly the sort of thing that I would do on the channel and used to do on the channel. But I'm doing it with you guys. And I'm really looking forward to it. It's going to be set on Gehenna. We ran a couple of different campaigns in the Gehenna system back in the day. But Gehenna Prime, which was a Prime world in charge not just of its system, but of an entire sector, has been wrecked when the Great Rift just ripped its way to the very edge of the galaxy. And there was a massive war that went on there. And in the Gehenna system itself, Volcanus, the most inner planet, got blown up. Sentinel, the most outer planet in the system, the bastion world of Sentinel, is now an irradiated wasteland. And Gehenna Prime is dead. And this is set a couple of years after that war ended, because the way the world ended wasn't with a bang, but with a whimper. Finally, there was nothing left to win. Everyone evac'd, everyone left, but some ships got shot down. Some battle barges were destroyed in space, so there was nowhere to evac to. Some of the forces on Gehenna got spat out by the Great Rift, like some Tau or some Tyranids, and there was never a chance for egress in the first place. So down in the ruined world of Gehenna Prime, it is completely grim, it is completely dark, and all that's left is 100 or so warbands are roaming the wasteland with no hope of escape, no epic heroes, no titanic units, and the clock is ticking. The Great Rift is pushing ever closer. And over the course of the 4 days, the Great Rift will close on the Gehenna system, and it will be the end of Gehenna and the death of a world, the end and the death campaign. I'm really looking forward to it. It's going to be one of the best campaigns I've done, I think. I need to film the event as well, so I need to get poked by people at the event, come up and poke me hard, and then I can take images and film some stuff. And I think what I want to do, because I'm quite excited by it, is actually then film me playing that campaign and stick it up for members by Christmas. I've said it out loud now, so you can poke me on that one as well. So those that weren't there get to enjoy the campaign through my eyes, though I know what's coming, so I'll probably have to get a couple of people to play it and then film the thing. This is ideas, this is behind the scenes. We weren't supposed to be here today. Evening, this is a nice surprise. Hi Woodsy, now we're cooking. Hi James March. There's James March from marchofwar.co.uk. James March from marchofwar.co.uk. There's a gorgeous video coming out this Sunday, hopefully this Sunday. It's rendering now, unless I lose it somehow. It's me versus Luton, 3,000 points, and it features lots of your lovely terrain. We were just banging on about the narrative campaign. I'm not even supposed to be here today. I'm not supposed to be here today, James. What were you supposed to be doing? I was supposed to be recording an SDC with Warsmith Chris, but here I am. What were you supposed to be doing today? And Marlow Fan has dropped £100 donation, and very neighbourhood Inquisitor just gifted a membership. GG's in the chat all round, please. Can we get big GG's in the chat from Marlow Fan? Because I wasn't supposed to be here today, and he's dropping £100 like that. He's just walking in here, unzipping his flies, and boom, flopping that out there for us all to go, wow, that's a big one. Winters, old love, I almost never get to see you streaming live, but I've had many hours of pleasure from your channel. Take yourself and Mrs. Winters out for dinner somewhere on me. Pub budget, nothing fancy. Pub budget? £100, Marlow Fan. I don't know what pubs you hang out in. That is a fancy pub. That is a spicy meatball pub down the road from me, the Strawberry Feast. Meal for two, a nice meal for two, 40 quid with drinks. So I'll take the other 60 quid and put it on the mortgage. Thank you very much, GG's, you absolute legend, and thank you, Friendly Neighbourhood Inquisitor, for gifting a membership. Chris needs to dump me more often. Right. I still need to stretch out the shoulder, fam. I mean, honestly. I highly recommend you don't wake up in the morning, paint all day, except for lunch, where you then edit a 3-hour video with just this hand only, and then paint all day again, and then sit down to do a thing, because you really should stretch, yoga, stuff like that. Not Swindon pubs. I know not Swindon pubs, James March, are not good pubs. I know they're not good pubs. I'll have to find a good pub. James March, why are you not even supposed to be here today? You haven't replied to my question. I mean, throw me a bone here, brother. Bro, forget the pub. That's a free repulsor. I've got 2 repulsors in a box down there. Don't tell anyone, because then they'll want me to paint them, and I'm on an Emperor's Children trip. They're even blue. They're even blue. It's like they're speaking to me. Don't you need some more hard armor in the 13th? Don't you want something hard and strong to pummel your enemies with? My response to that is that's a little excessive, and that's why I'm painting Slanesh. That's why I'm going hard into the Emperor's Children. They love it when you go hard into the Emperor's Children. Where... James March, answer my question if you don't get the reference. I don't get the reference, mate. Do you have an Astartes tank? I have a couple of Astartes tanks. How are the Emperor's Children coming along? That's what I'm talking about. Yes, I did the 10 more Tormentors. Tormentors done. 10, because I had 20 infractors. Done. Like yesterday, day before. And today, 6 more of the cacophony, which will give me all of the 18. All of them. All of them. 18 cacophony, that's 3 units of 3, that's all you need, and it's the only real gun in the Emperor's Children Codex. So if you're doing Emperor's Children, you're going to need 3 units of 3 cacophony. Noise Marines, they're called Noise Marines in 40k. Why is that a thing? And then you need the Lord Cacophonist with every single one of them again, because he's got 6 pistol shots. So for 60 points, you get, it's only 12-inch range, but you get the equivalent of 2 more Noise Marines in there. And he does mortal wounds when he shoots, and he gives them all sustained hits. It's just, there's only one real shooter unit in the whole of the Emperor's Children Codex, and it's the Noise Marines. You want 3 of them. I want 3 of them. I need to paint these, get these done, ready for Friday, because Rapid's coming down with a Necron list, and we'll see. We'll see how we get on. Have you told them about the best shooting phase ever? I haven't yet, Sam. Welcome to the chat, Sam. So... On Monday, Sam Nash was round. You may have seen him in some of those awesome battle reports featuring the Horus Heresy stuff. But there's one where he turned up with all his custodies. He's the ITC, GCSE, WTC guy. He's a great guy. And he was here on Monday, and me and Alex fought him because he turned up with his 5,000 point Ultramarines Destroyer company that you may or may not have seen on the channel. I don't know if it went out for members or was on the main channel, but he's turned up to 5,000 points of Ultramarines Destroyers for Horus Heresy. Awesome. Up against them, because it's Ultramarines, Alex ran Word Bearers and I ran Khan, World Eaters. It was Argel, Tal and Khan. Argel, Tal and Khan, the Shadow Crusade in the 500 worlds, versus the Ultramarines. It was absolutely epic. 5,000 points, and I didn't film it because I'm sorry to say, guys, I love the hobby so much that 25% of the games I play I don't even film. It's like, I know a lot of YouTubers who, apart from filming, they don't touch the hobby, they don't think about the hobby, they don't look at the hobby, they don't love the hobby like we do, chat. They don't love it so much that on their days off, technically, they're spending 6 hours playing 5,000 point games, which they're not filming because they want to get Khan and Argel Tal on the table and up against me. 5,000 points of Ultramarines, and we know what Ultramarines do in Horus Heresy. This little unit shoots at you. This little unit shoots at you as well and gets better ballistic skills. So their whole army's sitting on 2s. You have Dreadnoughts in the backfield hitting on 2s. Then you shoot the things next to the Dreadnoughts and they're hitting on 2s instead of hitting on 3s. They are a shooty army. It's what Ultramarines do. And at the end of the first shooting phase, the best shooting phase in the world ever that Sam Nash is talking about, he killed 1.5 of his Terminators and 2 scouts on the enemy team. And that's it. That's all that happened. In the psychic phase with the shooting attacks, he failed twice, perils twice, therefore killing 1.5 of his Terminators with mortal wounds. And then tanks fired in and dreadnoughts fired in and everything fired in. And if I'd have caught it on camera, you guys would have said he's cheating, he's spiking the dice. There's no way. Statistics, probably. Dice do not roll like that. Not with all those guns. Oh dear, it was the best shooting phase ever for the traitors. It was epic. It's like he didn't even go first. It's like he put himself out of position. So the counter charge was, yeah, it was glorious. We laughed. Oh, how we laughed. Sam, you asked me how I told them about the best shooting phase in the world ever. I have now. It was everything that could go wrong did go wrong. It was... I didn't know dice could. It was. I mean, who is the corpse god? Okay, we had the correct gods on our side. Oh dear, it was hilarious. That could be a clippable moment there, chat. I realised at the end there. That's why I dragged it out to try and give it that ending. That could be a clippable moment, like the other one we've got up there. That could be clippable moments. This is behind the scenes stuff. Right, where are we, chat? What's going on? I wasn't even supposed to be here. feel limbered up now. I'm awake. Someone dropped £100 dono in the strat, and I'm awake. We've got 50 people, and if we could have more than a dozen likes, that would be lovely. How all of this is my fault, apparently. Weren't you in the live stream yesterday, Eternal Crusader, saying that you wanted more live streams of me? Was it you? I think it was you. Because I remember saying in the live stream, Talkie Tuesday live stream, that that's the first time anyone's asked for more live streams. So that's why I'm doing a live stream. Instead of the SDC, which I was supposed to be doing, I was ready to talk 40k. So here we are, almost talking 40k. Like 50. We've doubled the number of likes. Thank you. Just joined. What's the general topic? Jacob Hill. There is no general topic today. What do you want to talk about? Servo Skull gifted a membership. GG's in the chat for Servo Skull, please. GG's in the chat. Thank you, Servo Skull. You're so generous. You come to the stream all the time. You're a top dono. Appreciate you, fam. If you receive a gifted membership this evening, that unlocks tier 2 level membership, which opens up the Discord. Come jump in the Discord. The water's warm. Everyone's friendly in there. Tier 1 gets you all the emojis, and tier 3, the one above tier 2, gets you an extra battle report every single Winter's Wednesday, and it's a great way to support the channel. Any day with Winters is a good day. Thank you. The Eternal Crusader, guilty as charged, but don't pretend you don't enjoy it. Yes, the Eternal Crusader. Yes, so it was you who's the only person in the history of ever. Well, some other chap also said the same. Yes, so it was you. Do I enjoy this? Yes, I do. I enjoy this. I love chat and hobby. We're chatting hobby this evening, chat. What do you want to chat about this evening, chat? I wasn't supposed to be here. So, let's talk. What have you been listening to today? So, I did a bit while I was painting earlier on. We continued with the Night Lords trilogy, Audible, Aaron Densky-Bowden. But one of my guilty pleasures, guys, greetings, Steve, is one of my guilty pleasures is watching people play Warzone, as well as all the 40 content I enjoy. Warzone is kind of like my time out stuff at 11 o'clock at night when I want to turn off. And, like the old Jack Frags and Stoddy and people like that, and Will from Work. And Warzone is changing. It's going back to old school Verdansk. And we did some videos about old school Verdansk with Salt and Plays back in the day. If you go on Salt and Plays channel, YouTube channel, and go like back to his earliest videos, like you do history and in reverse, you'll find some Warzone videos in there with me, Brapper Monkey playing, and then going back to Verdansk. So I was catching up on all the Verdansk stuff on the YouTubes. I had to turn off the Night Lords. So that's not 40k related. That's just another thing I listen to on the YouTubes. The other, if you are asking as well, other things I listen to on the YouTubes, I listen to a lot of historical stuff and science stuff as well. Fall of Civilizations podcast, recommend that one to High Heaven. Event Horizon, recommend that one to High Heaven. And Ashley Burton's Millennial Movie Monday reaction show. She's going through Buffy the Vampire Slayer right now, and I'm loving it. I'm watching Buffy again through osmosis, through my favourite millennial. It's fantastic. And there was a Buffy episode that came up today. And hey, I was there when Buffy and Angel were live, okay? I was there. I had the box sets and everything. And I was there for Firefly. I was on that. And I was at the movie for Serenity. I was on that. I am old. Jacob Hibbert, thanks for the $5. I just started Soul Hunter. Make some of the Night Lords seem like decent fellas. What a 40k series. What's a 40k series I should read? So yeah, Soul Hunter Night Lords trilogy is awesome. Be warned, you need to have money in your bank account by the time you finish the trilogy, because you will collect Night Lords. It is that good. And then Jacob, after that, if you haven't done them yet, Eisenhorn, Ravener, and Beckwin from Dan Abnett. And don't miss out on Magos, the collection of short stories as well. Tell me if you've done that or not, and if you have, I'll give you another recommendation. Just watched Serenity back again last night. I'm a leaf on the wind. Watch how I saw. I remember when Serenity came out. You aren't that old. I am old, Pete. I get so angry at all the characters in Buffy, except Buffy. She's awesome. See, I find it the other way. Buffy gets quite annoying sometimes. Thank you, Servo Skull. Missed you too. Daily Dice. Check out Daily Dice, YouTube channel. I painted Drukhari all day yesterday and listened to some Drukhari lore. For hours on end, I had some absolutely mental dreams last night. Imagine that 8 hours of painting, listening to Drukhari lore and then going to bed. Yeah, it's not going to end well. Eat a block of cheese beforehand as well, just to ram it in there. Winters inspired me to start Death. What? A DW. I'm assuming that's Death Watch. No, thank you too. Thanks. Oh yeah, Jacob Hibbert. Yes. Okay, so you haven't read them. Okay, so Eisenhorn, Ravener, Beckwin. So Eisenhorn is a trilogy written, and then Ravener. Some people prefer Eisenhorn. Some people prefer Ravener. The Audible series is good, as well as it's one of those series which is really good in book form and really good in Audible form as well. Do Eisenhorn and then do Ravener, and then there's a short story section of books called The Magos, and make sure you hit that bad boy up as well before you go on to Beckwin and Eisenhorn versus Ravener, which is the last. Then you'll be completely up to date by the time you finish that, by the way, with where 40k is right now. It's current AF right now. They actually retcon some of the dates in the earlier Eisenhorn and Ravener stuff, because Gaunt's Ghost, they were back in time, and Gaunt's Ghost, for example, was referencing Ibrahim Gaunt in the Gaunt's Ghost series, another series you should read, references the spheres of longing written by Ravenor over 200 years ago. He actually gets his own copy from one of the generals at the time, but they moved the dates in when they re-released. Anyway, so it springs, because it was Ravener, then it's Gaunt's Ghost now, and then we have Great Rift, but no, they've brought it to here. So but then Time Dilation, Great Rift, you get away with lots of MacGuffins and shenanigans because of Great Rift. Some parts of the galaxy have experienced thousands of years. Some parts of the galaxy think the Great Rift was Tuesday. Giles was the man. He was. Xander is awful. He was. Just finished Gaunt's Ghost, Book 5, Anarch, trying not to want to do Astra Militarum. Primarchs, Dave, the Gaunt's Ghost series, that is one of the ones that's better in books here. Primarchs, tell me if you audioed it or read it. Audio is still fantastic, absolutely fantastic, except for the fact that they changed the narrator right at the very end and then change it back again. But the book series is better because the book series has, you audibled it. Because in the book series, they're now in omnibuses. Omnibi. Inchabai. They're in bigger books. And they've also stuffed in the short stories into the big books. So if you read it, you get more than if you audible it. And if you audible it, you have that awful change of the narrator in book 14 or something, or whenever it was. But still, 10 out of 10 series. Legendary. Who's your favourite character? Tell me. Tanith first only has to be. Where are we? Always have it on while I paint. Yeah, last books on Audible are terrible. Well, the last book is good. So what they did is Games Workshop. It was during. They first started doing the Audible for Gaunt's Ghosts. That was one of the older series, like First and Only. Gaunt's Ghost's first book was called First and Only, and it was the first and only book published by the Black Library at the time. And then they started doing Audible like 20 years later, and they did the first Audible book for Gaunt's Ghosts when number 12 was released. And then they did the second Audible book for Gaunt's Ghosts when book 13 was released. And then Audible was taking off, and they were like, right, crap, we've got to do the whole back catalogue on Audible for all the people who want to listen to Gaunt's Ghosts on Audible. So they went back and they did it with Jonathan Keeble or Toby Longworth, one of them, and they did it all the way through. Now, the thing is, those two are awesome. Any Audible book with Toby Longworth or Jonathan Keeble, 10 out of 10, fantastic. And the guy who originally did it in book 12 or 13, he isn't as good. I mean, reading an entire audiobook, reading the whole thing it's a task, it's a skill in itself. So there's some people who are better at it, some people who are worse at it. And the people who are best at it sound like they're telling you a story. And the people who are less good at it sound like they're reading you a story. Hell, my story times, sound like I'm reading you a story, even when it's something I've written and I'm telling you because I'm still reading the goddamn story. But if Toby Longworth or Jonathan Keeble got their hands on it, they would be telling you the story, and that's the difference. And anyway, where are we? We hydrate. I think we send Warsmith Chris a WhatsApp message chat. What do we tell Warsmith Chris? Do we thank him for this impromptu live stream? Do we say, hey, I don't care if you've got a baby under the age of 1. Quite frankly, all the babies should be kept away from grown-up society until they're at least 8, because then they can play 40k. You can stick them down the mine. You can stick them up chimneys. Before the age of 8, quite frankly, they haven't really got anything interesting to add to the conversation, do they? I mean, you can't talk to them about, I don't know, anything in history, anything in geopolitics. You could talk to them about giraffes and penguins, I guess, but it's pretty boring conversation. And they're unenvironmental, ruining the planet. Kids, yeah. So what are we going to tell Warsmith Chris about? He's running out of water, guys. Stream's almost over. Yeah, I can't run out of that, can I? They should really... What am I telling him? Love the bonus live stream. I'm not telling Warsmith Chris that I love the bonus live stream. We need to... Look, I should be doing an STC with Warsmith Chris. But instead you've got me, because he bailed. What are we telling him? My daughter is 3 and loves watching your battle reports. Is she? I take it all back. 3-year-olds, quite frankly, babies should be looked after in some, what are they called? Nurseries? Places. In a thing. Right, futuristic utopia right here, guys. Yeah, you don't even have babies. Women don't want to do the whole thing. They don't like the stretch marks and C-sections, and it's gooey. There's all sorts of stuff going on down there. And I've watched the TV shows and they're like, it's not a happy experience having a child. I mean, after a strong night on some proper, teenage night on all the lagers and all the curries, the next day is an awful experience, let's put it that way. Childbirth can't be much worse than that. It's got to be around that kind of level of discomfort. I wouldn't want to do it. I don't want to have those mornings after with the lager and all the curries and things. So let's take idealistic utopia. We take it out of the equation. We stick them in pods. Have science, futuristic Winter's SEO future. You go to your pod on their 3rd birthday and you pick them up from there. Yeah, done. And while you're at it, because it's the future, let's put a 3rd heart and fused rib cages, a 3rd lung, 2nd heart. Let's give them a few enhancements. Let's take over the galaxy in the name of the God Emperor while we're at it. Let's do that. And then from the age of 3, they can watch battle reports and things. We'll do that. So what were you messaging Warsmith Chris, guys? He's running out. No, where are we? Yeah, my daughter has been telling me drop dice don't count for years. Has she? Nice. Well done. I'm guessing you don't have kids. I mean, there's only three in the dungeon. You keep them down there and you throw them a sheep's liver every now and then. You mean goats. You mean small baby goats, kids, right? Feed them the liver. My goats are attack goats. The kids with the sharp, pointy teeth. Killer goats. Pre-grown children. Well, it gets rid of the smelly bit. I mean, what are we texting Warsmith Chris? If you guys aren't dropping any ideas into the chat, I'm just going to drop a juice on the thing. Thanks for hope everything. No. What are we saying, Warsmith Chris? Are they trained like dogs? Can I ask my vat-grown child to count out? Yes, you definitely could. Have a vat-grown child, put them to work straight away. Counting out the dice, running around the house with it. They've got lots of extra genetically engineered bits in them. They're going to take over the galaxy one day, remember? You can get them training early. Ask him how he comes up with having the worst Primarch coat. Look, what we were going to talk, actually, Torhammer has just dropped in another donation. Thank you, Torhammer. Thank you. Can we get a big GG's in the chat? Torhammer, thank you for supporting the channel. Legend. What does he say? Your battle reports inspired me to start Horus Heresy 2.5k Mechanicum painted. Nice. Any advice for learning, as I don't know anyone who plays, and do you think I should wait to get the rules due to the rumored 3.0? So for learning, the best way to learn is to watch battle reports. It is one of the best ways. There's loads of different ways to learn, but I think watching best. That's how I do it. So back before I had the YouTube channel in 4th and 5th edition, we went to a lot of tournaments, and YouTube was starting around there, and I used to watch a lot of YouTube stuff. Because our group was very small and there wasn't any demons in it, or there wasn't any Tau in it, so I wanted to see how our armies function to get my head around. So battle reports are a really good way to do it. I'm sure the chat will agree. If the chat knows any other ways to, or YouTube channels for Torhammer, like to look at to help him learn. As for Heresy 3.0, okay. Rumored Heresy 3.0 is coming, and there's two ways that Games Workshop could go with this. In between Heresy 1 and Heresy 2, they changed the rules of Heresy 1 a little bit, because Heresy 1 was basically based around the 7th edition rule set, and then when we hit 8th edition, partway through 8th edition 40k, when the 7th edition rule set was completely gone, they released a 1.1 edition for Heresy 1.0, which was a tidying up of all the rules. And the life cycle of Heresy was actually quite a long time compared to 40k. And I would argue, and a lot of Heresy people would argue, that that was good for Heresy. That was good for that demographic. That was good for that audience who like that system. The kind of people who collect Old World, the kind of people who collect a Heresy are older. They haven't gone straight into the Space Marines. They haven't gone straight into the air. They're the kind of people who want, hey, I want a whole collection of Wood Elves. I want a whole collection of Blood Angels. I want a whole collection of Mechanicum. They're the kind of people who aren't chasing a meta. They're the kind of people who are building a collection. Generally speaking, that's one of the differences between the 40k and the Heresy audience. Of course, there's a lot of overlap. There's a lot of people like that in the 40k system as well. But there's more of them in the Heresy system. It's a longer term project thing. So it was good for the life cycle of the edition that they didn't change it for a long period of time. And there's a lot of rumors swirling around Heresy 3.0 that instead of a new edition, what we might get up is a tidying up of the rules like we had for 1.1. And I think that is the best thing Games Workshop could do. I think Games Workshop need to lean into long life cycle products and short life cycle products, because the audience for miniature wargaming is huge, and some percentage of that audience will prefer shorter life cycle products and the next big thing and the competitive edge and the dinner, and some people prefer the longer the audience is, the jungle is massive. So by having products that get updated over different life cycles is better for the overall health of all the game systems that Games Workshop have, I would argue. I would argue there's a business sense for that as well. Shoot me down in the comment section. It's just an opinion. But that's what I'd lean into. And I'd lean into the idea that 40k and Heresy and Old World and the different, the Venn spheres, the things, they overlap a bit, but there's different things going on there. So if Heresy 2.1 comes out this year or next year, let's say they release another Age of Darkness Heresy box, and inside it is the Age of Darkness rule set, and it's been tweaked a bit, and the FAQ online is updated, but inside that Age of Darkness new box set there is a plastic Arquiter, there are plastic Saber assault tanks, and there are 30 Horus Heresy breaches with shields with Mark V armor on, all things that we haven't had before in plastic, new, boom. All the Heresy 2.0 crowd who have got into the hobby since it released, They're all buying 2 of those boxes, 3 of those. I'm getting 3 of those boxes. I've got 5 or 6 legions now since Heresy 2.0 dropped out. I'm probably getting 4 of those boxes to add that chunk to my army, new plastic bomb. And I'm getting straight away because it isn't a 3.0, it's a 2.0, and I can continue to expand my collection. It's a tightening up of the rules. And a lot of the community wouldn't mind a little tighten with a little few edges here or there, a few points corrections, that's about it. And then in 3 years' time, drop Heresy 3.0 and keep Old World and Heresy on longer life cycles, 40k and AOS on shorter life cycles. Now, whether Games Workshop are leaning into that model or not, I have no idea. I have heard rumors that 3.0 is coming, but I have heard rumors from other people that they might be doing a 1.1, a 2.1. They might be doing an update. The fact that we haven't had any loud bits behind the scenes by some of the voices, that there hasn't been any hints or tweaks or things or rumors, or normally you hear a bit of these tremors coming from over the horizon a good 6 months in advance, but we haven't had any of that for Heresy 2.0. My suspicion is 3.0 isn't coming this year. So 3.0, let's add 3.0 probably isn't coming this year. 3.0 might not be 3.0, it might be a 2.1. With those two things in mind, I would highly encourage anyone who's thinking to get into Heresy to get into Heresy now. Now, I could be completely wrong, but I don't think I am. That's an educated punt. And then if they do release Heresy 3.0, when they release Heresy 3.0, I'm hoping, I'm praying that it isn't that much of a diversion, change, twist from 2.0. Because 2.0, because the Heresy rule set hasn't changed very much over time. 7th edition, where it started, was 6th edition, was 5th edition, was 4th edition, was 3rd edition. And 8th edition and 2nd edition Heresy, where it is right now, is 7th edition with a few bits chucked in there. They brought along wounds from the 40k system, which is good, because there used to be 1 wound Terminators, and speeders and dreadnoughts didn't have wounds, bringing a few wounds in. Light vehicles were a problem in the 7th edition rule set and backwards. They were so fragile. There was a limit where you got to tanks that weren't tanky enough, and they had like toughness 10 armor, and you could shoot them to death with bolters, and there was so bringing in the wounds, good idea, and bringing in stratagems / reactions, a reactive phase like we have in 40k, like we have in AOS, a phase in which your opponent is doing something as well. Stratagems in Heresy, reactions. The whole rule set hasn't evolved very. It's evolved slowly and well, and it hasn't just shifted for the sake of shifting. 40k has before, from 2nd edition to 3rd edition, completely shifted. From 8th edition, 7th edition to 8th edition, completely shifted, and shifted a bit from 9th edition to 10th. Same core rules, but they got rid of detachments. You've now got the rule of 3. They got flyers, made a big change. There was a shift. Also, they got rid of the casual player base entirely. They've got the points, Maelstrom, Mission, Pariah, Leviathan, Dex, Primary, Secondary, points. How many points can I score a game, rather than what objectives do I need to achieve, which they had in all previous editions before 9th edition, before 10th edition. In the main rulebook, there were missions that you had to achieve. In Maelstrom of War, there were missions you had to achieve. They did score you points. But and in 10th edition, there's missions you need to achieve, but all in the name of points. It's points. So they changed it. 40k, they've gone clunk. Heresy has never really had a clunk. So if you get into Heresy now, I strongly suspect it's not going to have a clunk. In fact, they so didn't want to clunk the Heresy Old World player base rule set gamers that after they completely kaplunked Old World and blew the planet up and people burned their armies and they released AOS, they plunked it so hard that when they brought it back, it's exactly the same system as it was with a few tweaks. It's like, okay, we done screwed up. There's a massive player base. There's a massive part of our audience out there that like this kind of life cycle, that like this kind of rule set. Let's give it to them. The audience is there. And guess what? They made bank. Absolute bank. So much bank that they can't produce enough plastic minis right now. They're building a whole new factory, which will be up and running in January 2026. It's costing them £26 million or something. And it'll increase their capacity by 25%. That's factory 5. So all their other 4 factories, it will do as much. It's big. It's coming. It's next year. They can't keep up with the demand of 4 main rule systems. Old World AOS for fantasy and Heresy 40k for sci-fi. So if you're interested in Heresy, you can get the rule set. Jump in. I don't think the rule systems for Heresy Old World are going to change that much for edition to edition. I think they're going to evolve. And I think there's plenty of evidence to back that up. Having said all that, this is Games Workshop. And in the history of making decisions that are good for their audience, is that words in the history? I don't think they make sense, and I don't think I make sense either. Oh dear. Let's jump into the chat. Chat, what are we talking about? The Cathay Army. You see the Cathay Army for Old World. Dude, I think I need to talk to the store owners I know again, because I have a strong suspicion that we know that it goes 40k Heresy. There's their 2 main selling games. They're outselling the fantasy games. It turns out people like Space Marines. Who would have thought it? And the Cathay release. I'm wondering if Old World is outselling AOS. I need to talk to some of the people I know who own stores and ask them, what are they selling? I need to do that again. I'll add it to my to-do lists. Can't wait to see Kislev. Silly Slavs holding us back. Where are we? Love 40k, but from watching a lot of horror series in 40k on 10th, I think the fact that it can go horribly wrong and you can't do a lot about it seems... Yes, so it can go horribly... Old World and Heresy can go horribly wrong and you can't do much about it at all. The bell curve for dice rolling is like this, right? We all know this. And then you get 1s and 6s and you get the stuff in the middle. And Old World and Heresy, they've trimmed away the 1s and the 6s because there's all sorts of rerolls available. In Heresy and Old World, those are still there. So you can get an explosion on a tank. Your warlord can be 6 inches away from that tank and wounded and die with 1 hit because that tank blew up. That can happen. You can have one guy run around a corner with a melter gun and one-shot a 450-point Spartan. It can happen. It doesn't happen very often. But those extremes, those are the reasons the games are good, not bad. You play enough games. You play it and it doesn't happen. But you play enough games, they'll happen every now and then. It makes it good, even when it happens to you. Chat, where are we? Total Warhammer makes Cathay slam dunk in sales, looks beautiful. Yeah, the Cathay stuff, nice. Heresy still has the extremes that really make wargaming feel like a war. It's one of the things I was jamming on about this last night. We like rolling dice, don't we, chat? We're wargamers. We want to roll the dice, see what happens, even when it's horrible, especially when it's horrible. That's what makes it epic. Good thing that any Heresy tank can be useful in 40k Space Marines too. Yep, Orcs and Eldar have been non-official PDFs online. Yes, so in Heresy there are Orcs and Eldar I forget the name of the community thing for Heresy that supports Orcs and Eldar. Someone in the chat will know. It's been online forever, and they've been updating it with community help forever. But there's famous online rules for Orcs and Eldar, which have been stress tested to the nth degree for Heresy, if you're interested. Horus Heresy rules read: Xenos is panoptica. Panoptica. Ka. Name that reference, chat. Name that reference. Anyway. I'm glad I jumped in this evening. You asked for this extra chat. And here we are chatting, doing this extra chat. Orcs and Eldar for Heresy. Eureka. Yeah, baby. There's community-based rules out there. They've been around for years, stress-tested to max. Evolution, Marius Gage. Coming off the top rope. He got the reference. Genius. How's your secret Eldar army coming along? See, I was thinking yesterday, because it was, what was it? The Fool's Day, the Aprils. I am the fool. Fool me once, and fool you. Have you seen that YouTube, that internet short? Fool me once, and then I am a fool. Fool me twice. Fool me once, you're the fool. Fool me twice, I am the fool. Fool me 3 times, I am the fool again. Because, haha, you fooled me. That is a great meme. Check it out. So yesterday, on the April Fool's Days, I mentioned Eldar briefly. Because April Fools. And here we are. No capes. And no Eldar. Unless it's the spiky dark ones flying in from Cormora. But then I've got the Emperor's Children, because they don't count. They're the proper bad guys. But I've got the Emperor's Children, and we're leaning hard into the Emperor's Children. And believe me, Emperor's Children love it when you lean hard into them. I am smashing my way through the Champions of Slanesh box part 2, and I'm really looking forward to Fulgrim and all the other stuff coming out as well. And I've got Chaos Land Raiders hard into it. I was supposed to be doing Night Lords this year. Farseer Winters is not a thing. Farseer, actually, chat, while I've got you here, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, you can't get fooled again. Yeah, it's a thing. There's a short. I saw a thing. Someone in the Discord. Drop it in the Discord. A link or something. It was amazing. It's definitely. He only plays Eldar when. Look, I don't do the Eldar. No one should do the Eldar. Okay, they're a dying race. They've had their time. Millions of years they got to rule the galaxy, and look how they left it. They gave birth to a chaos god. Okay? Look what they've done to my beautiful garden. Look at this. The garden that humans inhabit and inherited from the previous set of gods. Look what they've done. You filthy Eldar toucher. You've got 50,000 points of Eldar in the loft. Wow, that's a lot of Eldar. What I would do if I were you, if you've got any of the old lead miniatures, particularly if you've got that amount, that's a lot of miniatures right there. If you've got any of the, I'm suspecting that you've been collecting for a while and maybe got a lot, put all the lead ones on the eBays and you'll get a load of money and you can buy a proper army with them. Because the lead minis on eBays, any of the Rogue Trader ones, sell for a fortune these days. I am not jealous the Eldar got laid a lot, okay? I mean, the Eldar got laid a lot. They did, and they ate all the cheese. And if I could eat all the cheese, I would be a happy man. And bacon. I mean, if you could just live off cheese and bacon, that would be amazing. But we're not Eldar, okay? Some of us didn't get laid as much. That's why we're into miniatures. Eldar are a silly lot, shagging a god into existence. Shameful. Loft, you say? We don't talk about loft. You're building your loft out of Wraith. I'm not building loft. I'm not. You haven't. No. Wednesday live stream. High prancing duck. Thank you for coming. Thank you for joining the live stream. Talk some sense into these people. They're talking Eldar. And we know that Eldar don't count. No capes, no Eldar. No capes, no Eldar. Talk some sense into them. Prancing duck. You're the young fella, aren't you? With the great parents. He's had some good parenting. The people in the chat right now, bad parents. Oh dear. What were we talking about? I had an idea a moment ago before you interrupted my thoughts, chat. We're on a Wednesday live stream. We are. And that's because nothing's happening with the loft. That's you. Yes. Okay, good. We're on a Wednesday live stream because I was supposed to be doing an STC this evening with Warsom's Chris, and he let me down because apparently he has a baby and babies need looking after sometimes. Apparently. I wouldn't know. Okay. I was one once, but I don't remember it much. I remember everything being a lot taller and wagon wheels being bigger. It is a massive loss. Well, because Wednesday live stream is where you were always meant to be. Was it? Is Wednesday better than Tuesday? Because I feel like I do my Winters Wednesdays videos. Like today, a Winters Wednesday video went out for tier 3 channel members. So this is essentially, if you're a channel member, you're getting 2 bits of content from me in the same day. And I wouldn't want 2 of me in the same day. I could barely put up with 1 of me in the same day. What if the loft is an analogy for the webway? What if it's all a dream? I'm not a secret Eldar player. Both not one. You can't do Tuesday. See, Tuesday and Wednesday. So all the members get me on a Wednesday anyway. They're getting double me. This is Dolby me. This is surround sound Winters SEO, and it don't sound good. Winters has a webway in the loft. I do not have a webway in the loft. Are wagon wheels smaller or are we just bigger? Exactly. Everything seemed bigger when you were smaller, right? Dear, hiding all the Eldar. There is no hiding the Eldar in the loft. We're not talking about Eldars. We're not talking about lofts. This is supposed to be a Warhammer channel, damn it. Somebody talk about Warhammer and somebody talk about it quick. This is not the content that you should be pouring into your ears on a Wednesday evening. You have the whole of the internet at your fingers. Go and watch videos on penguins. Penguins are lovely. Or go and look, my cat is down there snoring and making noises. I think he just woke himself up because I'm about to go on a rant again. Go and look after your pussies. Stroke your pussies. Your pussy needs lots of good loving. I know mine does. It all makes sense now. All this time he was talking about expanding the loft when all this time he was just wanting more silly knife ears for shame. I'm glad you said silly knife ears. Not me. Because I would be... The internet would come for me. Do you think Khan will come back in 11th? Huh? What? What does that even mean? He hasn't gone anywhere. Jacob Hibbert. Thank you for your donation. I appreciate you, brother. Thank you very much. GG's in the chat for Jacob. Armor spam, infinity spam, or mix in Horus Heresy? DG rule. So you mean for Death Guard? Armor spam or infinity spam for Death Guard? Which faction? I need to know the faction. If it is Death Guard, both. Do the armor spam with the Rite of War, which makes all the ground dangerous, and they ignore dangerous terrain, including their deployment zone, and it gives them a 6-up shrouding in their zone. It makes every item of terrain dangerous terrain, including their own deployment zone, and vehicles bomb them from afar, and you're immune to dangerous. Or do the horde spam. Do both. Jacob, Death Guard, do both. And then the other one is the horde spam, like the one that I put up on Sunday. That was relatively hordy, with las cannons, multi-melters, plasma cannons, walking around on foot, plasma things. What you should do in that list is have a couple of 20-man blobs of tactical marines with apothecaries in each. That's what I should really do. And a command squad. You need a hammer bearer with your Terminators. And thank you, Servo Skull, for gifting 10 memberships. You absolute legend, you. GG's in the chat to Servo Skull as well. Apparently I should do more live streams, because talking to you guys is certainly paying off a lot more mortgage than ever recording an STC with Warsmith Chris, which is what I should be doing this evening, but who watches that crap anyway? Instead, Servo Skull is dropping 10 memberships like that, boom, in the chat. Thank you, you absolute legend. Yeah, I would do both, dude. Mr. Hibbert, Jacob. I would do both. And thank you, Servo Skull. Thank you. Thank you for supporting the stream. Thank you, everyone, for watching me. This, a Winter's Wednesday, where there's a battle report up, which is me versus Tau with Sultan, with the Emperor's Children, the Echoes of Ecstasy. I keep forgetting to talk about them because they have a name now, Echoes of Ecstasy, and we need to give names to the characters. I'm bubbling an idea for their lore because I can't play an army without lore. Like there's some background stuff for the Shattered Dynasty, for the Necrons, which I haven't shared with you guys yet, because I mean, me just sitting here talking about a video, talking about an idea in my head isn't great content, but me actually writing it down and then like a story time that way, that's a good idea. But who's got time for that? Particularly when they're making their shoulders and their eyes and everything hurt because they're just spending day after day after day trying to paint as many Emperor's Children as they can in time for the battle report on Saturday, which I'm really looking forward to. Rapid. Thanks for coming down. Hang about. I thought we did this yesterday. We did, Jackus Woods, all the way from France. Good to see you, Winters. Good to see you too, Jackus Woods. What's the weather in France this evening? What's it like over there? Are we? Yeah, what it was is the Eternal Crusader said, you need to do more of these. And I went, no. And then I was painting all day. I'm still wearing the same clothes that I had on last night. Don't tell her. Okay? Definitely don't tell her. I'll get in trouble. Haven't even showered because I woke up and I painted. Because this evening, I'm supposed to be doing an STC with Warsmith Chris, and he bailed on me because children are a thing. So that's why I'm here. Because I was all geared up and fired up to talk 40k all evening with Warsmith Chris. And I needed a break from the painting because I was turning into Gollum. I was literally falling apart. We did stretches on stream at the beginning. Go back, go and have a look at this flabby old ass stretching. You'll see it. I just had to. And here we are. This is why we're here. The thing that I was going to do with Warsmith Chris was, what are the 5 best Chaos Space Marine chapters / legions in 40k? That was going to be the topic. I'm happy for any of you to jump in on that idea. And 40k Iron Hands need more love. Agreed. The Iron Hands need more love. Yeah. Space Marine sell. Horus Heresy selling. 40k selling. Secret level Amazon selling. Space Marine 2 selling. They found Emperor's Children, more Space Marines. Turns out Space Marines sell. Games Workshop have found a way where they can sell more Space Marines. And we're going to get what's coming next. We're getting the Grey Knights. They're going to have that up. We're going to get the Space Wolves. They're going to get their thing. We're going to get the Raven Guard on proper speedy bikes. We're going to get them back. They'll get round to Iron Hands and Salamanders and all the things. And yeah, they're going to get there. Raven Wing. They love selling Space Marines. Apparently people like them. Knight James March, Steel Legion, Crimson Slaughter, Steel Legion, Crimson Slaughter. Those are Blood Gorgons. We're talking about Chaos Space Marine things here. Those are all good shouts. I like it. I'm surprised someone didn't come off the top rope with Night Lords, because that's normally a popular one. It's World Eaters, ain't it? It is World Eaters. Your favourite 40k bad guy Chaos Space Marines, World Eaters. I mean, you don't even have to explain World Eaters to normies. Just see those guys on Space Marine 2 and see those guys on all the box art. All right, imagine them, and they've had 20 Red Bulls, and they really, 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 really like killing things. And you're like, oh, them. That's World Eaters. Yeah, Word Bearers, not a good one. Word Bearers are not good. Erebus is a dick. Night Lords, yes. Iron Warriors, yeah. Iron Warriors. I'd be interested to hear your reasoning why you think Iron Warriors are one of the best Chaos Space Marine things. 1,000 Suns, interesting, different, like them. Death Guard, actually, that's quite a good shout as well, because if you're going to be a Chaos Space Marine and you're Death Guard, you can have a great time. They're jolly old people. They love it. If you had to pick one, I'd pick the one with all the maggots, please, because they're they love Grandfather. Grandfather loves them. Everything's lovely in the world. Black Legion, World Eaters, Death Guard, Word Bearers, Iron Warriors. What's this Word Bearers coming into my chat? Can we stop with the Word Bearers? Iron Warriors are competent. Flawless host. Love the Night Lords. All degenerates. Who doesn't love the Night Lords? They're about as grim and dark as you can get in the grim and the dark. If you don't like Night Lords, you probably don't like 40k. Aren't the 13th Chaos Jackus Woods? That's Heresy. Back of the class to you. Back of the class. The 13th, we are not chaos. We are loyal servants of the Imperium. We serve the Imperium truth. Sometimes the Imperium and its truth and us don't meet eye to eye, but that's the Imperium's fault, not our fault. Night Lords all the way, baby. Yeah, exactly. Pickle Nick knows what I'm talking about. But Erebus can go, Erebus can go screw himself. The Eternal Crusader says that we need a good villain to hate, and he's not wrong. The best franchises have the best villains, like Darth Vader, the Joker, Eric Cartman, Erebus. Everybody hates Erebus. Even the people who have Erebus in his army and play with Erebus say, I like playing with Erebus. And I know some of these people, and they like playing with Erebus because they like it when he dies. And if they play with Erebus and the Word Bearers, they get to see Erebus die more than anyone else. And there's a funny kind of logic to that, which I kind of take my cap off to. Night Lords are not chaos. They are fluffy bunnies in disguise. Some Night Lords are not chaos at all. Talus in the Night Lords trilogy is not chaos, but some of his buddies are. They've been drinking the Kool-Aid. They can go some way or the other. I keep Sevatar. He's not dead. Where's the Sevatar story? Sevatar said screw you to everybody, including Kurz by the end of it. He is completely Switzerland in this matter. I want to see Sevatar's story and where he ended up. Where are we? The Word Bearers do have Argyle Tal. Don't squeeze lemon into the scar. Where are we? Who? What? His Warlord-Traitor Heresy is hiding behind everyone else. Yes, it is. And he can summon demons. Abaddon sucks as a villain. He hasn't done anything significant since the fall of Canada. Abaddon sucks as a villain. I think Abaddon has the Guilliman Lion problem, which is the Guilliman Lion haven't done much. Guilliman come back, Indomitus. The Lion, they still haven't. He's such an integral part to the main narrative for where 40k is now. They can't do much with Abaddon. Same with Guilliman. They can't say, hey, Guilliman all of a sudden goes into the warp to hunt down Fulgrim and kills him and dies there. They can't do that, wiping out Fulgrim and Guilliman. They can't do that. They can't have Guilliman say, right, what I'm going to do is we're going to stop the church. We're going to wage war with the Mechanicum and the Guard. We're going to tear down the Ecclesiarchy because he definitely wasn't a god. Guilliman can't do stuff like that. He's there's reasons why he and Abaddon and the Lion and other Belisarius, there's major figures that are and their lore moves forward very, very slowly. However, if you get deeper into the lore with Abaddon and you read Black Legion by Aaron Dembski-Bowden and the Talon of Horus by Aaron Dembski-Bowden, and realize that the 13th Black Crusade was a culmination of the other 12 Black Crusades, where he was picking out the pins that were holding the tablecloth of the universe down on a windy day. The 12 other Great Crusades were destroy a bit of Blackstone over there, destroy a bit of Blackstone over there, destroy it, and fabric started wobbling on that cloth. And the 13th Black Crusade, end of Cadia, cloth rips in the strong wind. He's actually he's a good bad guy. But his lore is everywhere and long-term and all over the place. I like Abaddon lore. I do like what Aaron Dembski-Bowden did with him in Black Library and Talon and Horus as well. He gives him the agency, real agency and real character. It's nice. He often gets written by lesser authors or in the codexes, in the throwaway bits. He often gets written as a bit of a caricature here or there, like in the Vigilus books and the Prior Nexus stuff. There's a bit of Abaddon here, a bit of Abaddon there. In the Dark Omens book, a bit of Abaddon here, a bit of Abaddon there. He's a bit of a mustache twirling, I'm the bad guy thing. But that's all they can put in those books. They're not novels. He's the bad guy moving the plot forward. That's what he's there for. But when you read the lore stuff, he's a good bad guy. Okay, that's my opinion. It's my opinion. You have your opinion. I have my opinion. My opinion is obviously the right opinion because I'm on the internet and all my opinions are always right. That's what the algorithm verifies with me all the time. Tells me everything that I know is right and I never expose myself to anything that's wrong. I never expose myself to any of those dirty Eldar players. Never any of those battle reports out there. Okay, I don't look at other YouTube channels about Verdansk and Call of Duty and things like that. It's locked into 40k. Internet algorithm. Well, where did I end up there, guys? Where did I end up there? What the hell was that all about? What are we talking about, chat? Stay on target. Drag me back down to earth. Come on now. I'm running out of water. I've run out of water. This might be over soon. And there was definitely something I wanted to talk about. I can't remember what it was. Oh dear. He's a lot better in the Heresy. I loved seeing him plan out, take part, and then fail even as he died. Yeah, I mean, like the Abaddon, particularly in like The End and the Death, outstandingly written there as well. The water's gone, guys. The water's gone. There is no more fluid in this room unless I drink from the paint pots or skin the kitty. And this book... it's going to get dry, excuse me. I'm not responsible for this kind of content. You asked for this. Well, the Eternal Crusader specifically, you're getting it. What are we talking about? Abaddon should be more worried about Be'lakor taking his soul, Chaos Marines, Daemons. I mean, no, he's not worried about that. Get a vat-grown child in there to refill. Stat! Night Lord at heart, skinning the cat. If I was a Night Lord at heart, I'd skin the cat and broadcast it into every TV screen. You had compulsory viewing in Nostromo at the end. Everyone had a guaranteed TV and a handheld device wherever they were. Lowliest sink scum to the highest things. And on pain of death, you had to watch the nightly skinnings by Kurz. And it's like, this is what happens if you break the law. Great TV. Like, really good viewing figures. I bet his ad revenue was really high as well. I mean, that's how he funded his whole operation with the Batcave and all the things. It's basically Nostromo YouTube ad revenue. Yeah, baby. What are we talking about? What did I want to say? It's gone. It's gone, guys. It's gone. So we've agreed, by the way, then, that the top 5 Chaos Space Marine armies, Night Lords are up there, World Eaters are up there, Word Bearers are definitely not up there, but good bad guys, we've agreed on that. Thousand Sons are interesting because they're so unique. I bet Kurz has a cat. In the Night Lord's Primarch book, he has a pet. He definitely has a pet. I feel like Night Lord players like the Legion more itself than Kurz. Kurz hated the Legion, and the Legion hated Kurz by the end of it. You've got to remember that there was 20 Primarchs, and 3 of them didn't make it to the Heresy. 2 we don't know about, the 2nd and the 11th. We've got no idea what happened to those guys. The 3rd one, Kurz, he didn't make it to the Heresy either. He was under-sanctioned. He had been drawn back to Terra, where he brutally attacked Rogel Dawn and left them fighting for his life, and then fled off into the galaxy. And he was sanctioned and told off for nuking his own planet and destroying it utterly. 3 Primarchs didn't make it to the Heresy. 2 of them we don't know what about, and 1 of them had gone batshit insane by the time the Heresy came round. So the project, there was always meant to be a heresy. They were meant to tear themselves apart. The Thunder Warriors, once that tool was no longer needed, all the cancers, and then the genocide on Mount Ararat, gone. There was meant to be a heresy. It was meant to burn itself out, people. There were only some that were supposed to be hanging around. Maybe some Ultramarines to guard the distant shore each. I mean, Guilliman himself said it. Each of you Space Marines will rule a world. I'm trading you not just for the crusade, but for what comes after. They were to guard the distant shore. He would have still had some Alpha Legion kicking around. He would have still had some Imperial Fists helping guard Terra. But the SAS, no need for the Raven Guard anymore. White Scars, people to roam the distant edges, no need for them anymore. Sector destroying legions like Blood Angels, Death Guard, World Eaters, Iron, all of them dead. He would have had some Iron Warriors left as architects to build the new Imperium, because Perturabo was the architect to build the things, and Ferrus Manus was the engineer to invent all the things. So some of them have had very small roles to play, but most of them gone. Describe how you would design Leman Russ in 40k. He'd be like, I get this guy who'd looked like a lead singer in a Norwegian heavy metal band, stick him in power armor and give him a few axes, and then say to the sculptors, make that. Leman Russ 40k, done. Actually, no, because if I got hold of the lore, I'd make Leman Russ bad. I'd make him come back out of the Eye of Terror, turn bad. And he would be full on Wolfen demon. He's got a demon up him, basically. Leman Russ, demon up him, off he goes. And I'd have Perturabo come back out of the warp, and Perturabo having never turned to chaos. I'd retcon that a little bit, and he's been fighting the bad guys in the Eye of Terror all this time, and he's fortifying the north of Imperium Nihilus, like we're told in Dark Omens, carving out his own empire in defiance of Abaddon and the forces of chaos, and he's actually a good guy. And I'd have a good guy Primarch go bad, and a bad guy Primarch be good, and I'd have it at the culmination of a book series written by ADB or Dan Abner or a couple of the Heresy writers coming together to write a book series over a period of time, a bit like Eisenhorn, Ravener, Beckwin, with a reveal at the end of it and new models and new release at the end of it. That's what I would do. And it would be epic. And in the final book, we suddenly see Russ, and it's like, oh no, he's a bad guy. And it's the second to final book. And then it comes out with a model release and 12th edition, and boom, it's like, oh my God. And then we have another book, and then we have the final book. We have Endgame, and Perturabo turns up, and Perturabo is a good guy, and it's 13th edition, and he's on the box set, and you have the people who are really, 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 really good at making lore and narrative and writing stories, who sell books in the millions, you make them write the lore. And some models come out of that. Like you did with the whole of the Heresy plastic release and all the miniatures and all the stuff that came out of the Heresy. Let your creative people go wild, and you will have an entire new model range, an entire new game system, and you will double the size of your company. Let them do that. As well as do the normal Games Workshop thing, which is they make a model, and then they release the model, and that's the way it used to go. The model came first, and then the story second. We're now in an age where the stories can come first and the models can come second. And I argue that why not both? Anyway, that's what I would do. That's how I would design Layman Russ for 40k. I would make him evil Layman Russ with big, nasty, sharp, pointy teeth. Like that. Not that I don't like Space Wolves. I mean, who doesn't like Space Wolves? Everyone likes Space Wolves. They never wash like me. I should really be a Space Wolf player. How much paint, Emperor's Children, you got now? I finished 10 Tormentors. I am working on 6 more Noise Marines, which gets me up to 18 Noise Marines. If I get the Tormentors done, the Noise Marines done, and a character, I'll have 2,000 points of painted Emperor's Children. My arm and my shoulder is feeling it, but I'm loving it. I'm enjoying the process, listening to Night Lords on Audible. Absolutely fantastic series. 10 out of 10 must. Bang. And then I've got about another 1,000 points of Emperor's Children to add on top of that. And then I'm going to be working on the demons. And I'm supposed to be doing Night Lords this year. How are the Dark Angels coming on? They're not. They've been kicked into the long grass for all the other things that are going on. Been loving Space Wolves since 7th. I'm more of a cat person myself. I guess that's why I don't have any Space Wolves. But yeah, I love puppies. I love the puppies and I love the pussy. I will stroke both of them. I stroke the crap out of this pussy all the time. He's 17, you know. He snores loudly at 3 o'clock in the morning and wakes me up. How's the 14th Traitor Guard coming on? On the back shelf. I'm working on Emperor's Children. And then there's other things. More of Templar guy, shockingly. I'm more of a Templar guy. Oh, the Eternal Crusader. Right. Yes. Sorry, I didn't. It helps if you explain it. If you're coming in with a joke, like you're the Eternal Crusader, right? And then you're like, I'm more of a Templar guy. Badum-tish. See, it's funny. It's funnier if you need an explanation or a badum-tish at the end of it. And then I might have laughed, but because there wasn't, I'm not. And Garland Green, Salamanders for the win. And his name is Green. Garland Green, Salamanders for the win. Possibly the only good guys in 40k. They're not good guys. They'll still exterminate us a whole world, but they try. Okay, from now on, I shall put Badum Tish after all my jokes. That would help. Thanks. I'd like to see a Vulcan sculpt in 40k. They will get there. All the Primarchs are coming back. Quick, name my Space Marines. The Jubbly Melons. Why did I say that? Dear. I don't know. Name my Space Marines. Chat. Throw me a friggin' bone here. Name his Space Marines for him. I'm just thinking of melons. Salamanders and Sisters, because fire good. Yeah. Flange Nibblers. There you go. That's the name for your Space Marine chapter. The Massive Melons. Badum Tish. Oh, that's a joke. You see, I get that. The Massive Melons. Yeah. The Left Phalange. The Puppy Kitties. Jubbly Melons is a tough beat. Sons of Winter. Sons of Winter. Space Marine chapter, the Sons of Winter. That's a good name, particularly if they're a Space Wolves successor chapter or something, because that's a thing now, apparently. Sons of Winter is actually good. Well done, Servo Skull. Servo Skull wins. Yeah, I mean, the Taco King, I agree. AB, the Pork Swords, no. Moist Probe Force. If you're going to paint your Night Lords, I recommend painting them in Storm themed. Well, they're Night Lords. They're going to have some of the lightning bolts. They're Night Lords. But the Night Lords are the Heresy Night Lords. That's the next Heresy army I'm going to work on. And they had less lightning bolts back then. Thank the God Emperor. Remember, if you're painting lightning bolts, always hold your miniature if you're painting any straight lines, here's a top tip for you guys. If you're painting straight lines, hold the miniature so the line is running vertically, and then twist it and vertically, then twist. Always vertically coming down, then you'll get a nice straight line. If you try and do it sideways and things like it, you will no. Come down. Come down, my child. Come down. He is hard asleep right there. Listen to my cat snore. You ready for this? I've got to be quiet. I can't wake him up. Shh. We're going to get this live on camera. 17-year-old cat snoring. Damn it, I woke him up. Use unpainted Night Lords. Unpainted miniatures. Heresy. Heresy. He was snoring his ass off. I feel bad for waking him up now. Right, how long have we... Brothers, we stand in mid-tone clad. How long have we been going on? I'm out of water. Chat. I'm out of water. Are we calling it quits, or is there more things we need to talk about? I didn't message Warsmith Chris and tell him what an absolute arse he is. I think I'm going to be doing it tomorrow, the STC. And thanks for the ideas to jump into the STC. Not long enough. Stream again tomorrow. Eternal Crusader. Beer. Badum-tish. Right, I'm back. Where are we? What would be more torturous to your opponent than unpainted minis? You're onto something. What would be more torturous? I don't know. While you're playing with them for the couple of hours, just giving them a couple of hours of Eldar lore at the same time. I mean, psychological warfare, basically. And then the Eldar did this. You know, that would be probably the worst thing. You could probably call the police on that. What are your ideas on all the detachment thingies? Yes, I thought about this. Empty bases picking up that. Right. So, yeah. So they're releasing detachments every 3 months for some factions. So some just got some, and then in 3 months' time, some more will get some, and then 3 months' time, some more will get some. Apparently, it's 3 months quarterly. Yes? Yeah, is it quarterly? Let's assume it's quarterly. What do I think of that? I had to think about it, and I think it's a good idea. Originally, I was like, there's more rules with the rules. There's more rules with the rules on top of the rules, and we don't need more rules. And half of the detachments no one uses anyway. And then half of the new detachments they're going to drop, no one's going to use anyway. But the thing is, it's a year and we get another edition. I'm sorry, guys. News, strap yourselves in for this one, lads. I forgot to give you a warning, but it's about a year away, maybe a year and a month, and we're getting another edition. I know, some of you haven't even got your codexes yet, I know. But it's a 3-yearly release cycle. It's been like that since 7th edition. I don't know why either, particularly as they have 4 main rule systems, and it could be a 4-yearly release cycle. But here we are. We're getting a new edition. And in the last cycle of the edition, we normally get stuff from Games Workshop, which is along the lines of the Pariah Nexus, all the Vigilus things, or all of those things, which are a bit of narrative, a bit more rules, we get these expansion books. And I hate the expansion books. Is hate too strong a word? We get lore squirreled away in supplements that most people miss because most people don't get the supplements. We get rules squirreled away in other books. So if you want to play a faction, not only do you need the book, but you also need the fact, the update, the thing, and the other book to play your book, the codex and the thing, because that's the only way you can find your units in the other thing. A chunk of them are pants anyway, and then they're all out of date in 6 months because Vigilus, Primarchs, it just happens. And it's been something they did at the end of 8th and it was horrible. And something they did at the end of 9th and it was horrible. And I liked the idea. And it wasn't... There were some good nuggets in it. There was the occasional good nugget in it. Like... how did Calgar cross the Rubicon? He was the first to cross the Rubicon, Primaris, and become a Primaris Space Marine. Nice little short story, nice little nugget in there. Great. And then in the very same sequence of books, they spoil it by Calgar goes toe-to-toe with Abaddon in Vigilus. Abaddon kills Calgar by stabbing him through both, not one, but two of his hearts. Kills him, but he gets better. He's not really dead. He's mostly dead. Miracle Max, thing in his thing, 24 hours, lie down, fine. Both hearts. I thought, after he crossed the Primaris Rubicon and the thing, I thought, wow, if he dies and they leave him and then he's back. I thought it would be great if in modern 40k there are some characters that we play that are dead. Why do they all have to be alive? In Horus Heresy, you can play Sol Tarvitz. You can play... That's the only one that springs to mind. But there are a bunch of characters in Horus Heresy that you can play that are dead by the time at the end of the Heresy. Let's face it, most of them are, except for the ones that we know, like Khan, Lucius, a few others. Most of them are. So you can play characters in the Heresy, and some of them are alive and some of them are dead, depending on which point in the Heresy you play them in. And I thought it would be heroic if they did the same thing in 40k. So that in the 40k codexes, you have Calgar, you have Vect, you have Dante, you have Terry. You have all these wonderful characters, and some of them are dead and some of them are alive in current 40k setting, and who cares? It doesn't make them less cool. And killing characters can give them a really heroic, beautiful last stand, here I am and here I die, and it's Calgar. And it's, you know, if Yarrick is dead, I've got no problems with Yarrick being dead. I want a miniature of Yarrick back again, and I want a book of Yarrick kicking ass and dying heroically at the end of it. I mean, Infinity War was good. Lots of death. Empire Strikes Back. Bad ending. Good. We like bad things happening and heroic characters doing heroic things. And having dead characters in 40k gives more opportunity for the authors of the current setting to do some heroic shit. It also gives the opportunity for Games Workshop to make awesome new miniatures of them for when these books and when these moments happen. And it also gives Games Workshop the opportunity of not having to re-release and re-legend. There can be an end to that story arc, and we can get new characters coming up rather than that guy's been Primarisified and that guy's been Primarisified, and now Sly Marbo has Sylvester Stallone. He's got a new sculpt. Now you just move on to newer, greater, different, stranger, weirder heroes. You can do that. And why they don't do that, don't know. What was I talking about? Ah, dear. I went so far off target there, I forgot where I started. What was I talking about? Anyway. Yes. Heroes, target, people die, rewind back a bit more. Guys, throw me a bone. Old brain. Tangent. I went from tangent to off a tangent to another tangent, and I can't remember the point I was trying to make at the beginning. Detachments. You were talking about detachments. Yes. Thank you, chat. So at the end of every edition, they release... So at the end of every edition, they've released some crap. Some of it's good, most of it's crap. Because sales, and what are you going to talk about at the end of the edition? And there's a new edition coming in a year's time. So dropping some detachments every 3 months to keep the conversation going, keep people interested in the hobby, to giving you new ways to play, because some of you are still waiting for codexes, but some of you might have had a codex a year ago and might be interested in new ways of playing. And most of the detachments are crap, like most of the stuff they dropped in the past is crap. But there'll be some good ones in there that'll be quite fun to play. I think the new Tau one feels Tau, 6 inches on all their weapons. I like the Star Shatter one on the Necrons because it's strong. So strong is good. There's the Bridgehead Assault one for the Guard. That was quite spicy. They had to tone it down. It was so spicy. There'll be some good but it's the same like that in a Codex. A Codex will drop and there'll be 6 detachments in a Codex and you'll only ever see 2 of them. Because half of them are going to be shockingly bad. So in a Codex with 6 detachments and you only play 2 of them, and there's another release that comes out and there's another detachment and it might be actually quite good and you might be interested in playing it and it might bring you back to the hobby, to that faction, have a conversation with a friend, hey, let's get down, let's try that thing, boom, get you playing the game, good. So new detachments at the end of a edition, I'm up for it. I'm good. I'm here for it. I think it's a correct life choice. Definitely better than some of the stuff that we've had before. And I think just leave it alone and not release anything over the last 12 months of an edition other than drop the codexes and a few hypes here or there. I wouldn't do that either. I mean, what I would do is try and have some novel releases, some Black Library releases come out around the time towards the end of an edition. So there's something exciting happening and a release at the end of an edition and another book and something exciting happen at the start of the edition. I'd try and tie in the Black Library. I would unleash the writers more, but we've been over this subject. The lore in 40k exists because creative people got creative at the start. The art and the things that we see exist because creative people got creative in what we see at the start. The visuals, everything that we know from 40k exploded. And the IP moves very, very slowly now, if at all. Because the IP it's worth more than the miniatures now. They make a lot more money off the IP than they do off the miniature sales. So they're very careful with that thing. But creative people got them here. And I would unleash creative people one more time to take them to the next level. Next level. Episode 5 from Amazon. Banging. Where are we? What are we talking about? The Grommaster detachments just proved they could get all armies, their rules very quickly, but the production there. Hi, stranger come knocking hobbies. Hi, Jim. I'm fine. How are you? Here's a topic for next time, says Eternal Crusader. Throw it at me. I'm always interested in topics. I always like to try and talk about a thing. I often don't. What characters would we be fine with GW chopping to advance the plot? I mean, they can chop. Yes. Good morning, Silver Crow. Nice. Yes. What characters would be fine with GW chopping to advance the plot? I'll think about that one. Who can they kill? Apart from the Eldar. Craftworld Eldar. Harlequins are okay. The ones in Cormorant are okay. Let's face it, they've had their time. They're the dying race. Get rid of them. Let's introduce a proper, interesting alien faction. What about Henry Cavill and Amazon making a Warhammer movie? Is it going to be we don't know. It could be a movie. It could be an animated series. Could be a TV show. There's all sorts. They've got the cinematic rights, the televisual rights. They're going to throw bank at it. And we'll see what comes out the other side. I am horrified and optimistic at the same time. Personally, Abaddon's got to go. Does he? Abaddon have to go? Abaddon could go, and you could have a Primarch lead. See, that could be an interesting story arc. How the Chaos cause, the leader of the Chaos cause, is usurped by another, and that other being a Primarch, taking control of the Chaos cause, and That is a whole story arc there, isn't there? You still got Fulgrim and Mortarion and those guys. They're so wrapped up and so enslaved by their gods, it wouldn't be one of them. But Perturabo could potentially take. There's room for a shift there, which could be very, very, very interesting. And then you got a Primarch on one side and a Primarch on the other. Nah, I mean, Vashdor should kill Abaddon and turn into a super baddie. I don't think Vashdor really cares that much about Abaddon. Vashdor wants to cut his way using his webway tunneling device into Extimate space to take what the Yellow King has and make himself a Chaos God. That's my guess. That's what's going on there. Dr. Sprue, hi Winters, lovely to be here. I could a couple of your chapters recently and they were epic, especially the one with Sultan the other day, S-tier chat. Thank you, Dr. Sprue. Sometimes we do S-tier chat. Most of the time it's not. But I appreciate the vote of confidence. But would a Primarch accept the Black Legion? Hope they're... Well, that's what I mean. Would a Primarch... So there'll be some of the Black Legion who wouldn't accept a Primarch to lead them. There'd be some of the Black Legion who would accept a Primarch to lead them. Interesting story arcs written by proper authors would be very interesting, wouldn't it? Lorgar, you should usurp Abaddon. No, not one of the named guys. Fulgrim... It could be Lorgar, actually, yes. Not Fulgrim, Mortarion, Angron... or damn it, Magnus. But Lorgar could. Say Lorgar and Erebus come back and usurp and take over. There's this whole... You could have a whole series of books which doesn't have any Imperium in it at all. And it's just this massive war and power struggle between the Black Legion and Lorgar and Erebus. Make Erebus an absolute bitch again. And take over the Black Legion somehow. And that would be epic. Isn't it time for the Emperor to be confirmed dead? They pretty much did that in 8th edition, and then they retconned it. Does Chaos care about Terra very much anymore? Lorgar just does what he's told by them. The Chaos Gods do care about killing the Emperor. They do. They want him dead. They're happy where he is. They're happy that there's a whole checkmate thing going on. But he stole from them. Remember, the Emperor stole from them, and they want him dead. They do not like him. Hi, the hobo. Thank you for your 27 months. Hi, Monkey as well. Just dropping in on this random day, replaying Mass Effect trilogy, and no, we need an Iskander Koimani. Dude, Mass Effect trilogy, banging, absolutely banging. We do need an S-Can Kun, dear mate. We do. Hi, Monkey. Thanks for joining in to this Wednesday, Talkie Tuesday, Wednesday live stream. Thanks for dropping in. And thank you, everyone else who dropped in this Talkie Wednesday. Monkey's here now, so I'm going to go. Because, screw that guy. No one likes him anyway. And I've run out of water. Mass Effect was perfect. It was. Yeah. So I'm going, Monkey. Okay. What you got to say about that, Monkey? I'm going to go. Look, the water's out. It's a thing. Standard, push the thing. Standard, he knows that you know it, Monkey. This is standard. Why would you want to look at my face anyway? Why? You've got me on your phone. You can just look on your phone every time you want to see my face. I know you have the pictures. I know Stylus gave them to you. Happy wargaming. It's not going to be a tomorrow. I really, really have to get the Emperor's Children done in time for the Saturday battle report I'm filming. There's 6 of them there. And we're going to town. And then I'm painting a bit of the back garden. We've got this garden paint. Then I've got an hour phone call. So all that's happening. And then on Friday, it's Super Bowl Friday. Not Super Bowl, Blood Bowl Friday. Alex is coming around. We're doing Blood Bowl. So I'm not going to... My painting window is narrow. I can't do this 3 days in a row. Who would want this 3 days in a row? Whoa. Words. Words are hard. Why? Why come back? I haven't even refilled the water. What? What? You know, like the ending in Ferris Bueller's Day Off. Not the ending with the bus. Boom, boom, boom. Not that one. But after the credits roll. You know that ending? Where he walks out in the robe. It's in Deadpool as well. Imagine that ending. That ending. Seriously, guys. Lock in, lean forward. Are you ready for this? Service Girl, thank you for gifting a membership. Thank you. No, I'm not sad about it. I'm very happy about it. Thank you. GG's in the chat. Service Girl for gifting a membership. Thank you, Service Girl. You're very generous. Thank you. What are you still doing here? Go home. Yes, that bit in Ferris Bueller. No, you're the best. I will not become a full-time streamer. You will not insure it. I've got places to do and faces to be. The language is beginning, and then the taco comes in and drops $2. GG's for the Taco King as well. Thank you, the Taco Emperor, by the way. Thank you very much, guys, for your support. I appreciate you. But I mean, it's like 10. It's nearly 10. I've got a supper and things. I can't do full-time streaming. I'm barely doing part-time streaming. This is barely streaming. This is like, as far as streaming channels go, you've got streaming channels, millions of views. And then you've got really shit streaming channels, views like mine, okay? But at least they're talking about something coherent. And then below that, in the Cormora levels, is us. We can't do this more than twice a week. It will melt our brains. Mine is already falling apart. 24/7 stream mark is not incoming, monkey. This is why I leave when you turn up, because you're like the biggest cheerleader in the background, waving your pom-poms all over the place. One old man babbling into the void. Stuart Fields dropping another donation. He'll be streaming until he's 90. Please, dear God, no. Sorry. Thank you for your donation. GG's in the chat to Stuart Fields. Thank you. I am pleased for the donation. Thanks. Thank you, Stuart. Very generous. All the way from the land down under. Might as well install a bed in the corner. No. He's snoring again. Do you want to hear the snoring again? We'll try and get it this time. Okay, we'll try and get a 17-year-old cat snoring without waking him up. This is the great content that you've all come here for. I know he's woken up already, so I can't even get it. As soon as I roll the chair, he hears the chair roll. Right. Okay. Lock it in, guys. It's brush your teeth time. It's go to bed time, okay? We are leaving. So imagine, people, we are leaving. They mostly come out at night, mostly. Jackus Woods, thank you for gifting a membership. Just using the chat for Jackus Woods. Thank you for gifting a membership. Thank you. Just get him his own mic and leave it by the bed. It is so cute, though. Except when he wakes you up at 3 o'clock in the morning because his head is there and he is snoring his ass off. And he makes such a loud noise. We even told the vet about it. It's like, he's a loud snorer. And you're like, yeah, he's 17. It's like, he's a geriatric cat. They're going to make a lot of noise. And he sometimes farts as well. And cat farts, they're like flashbangs. Because he's got such a tiny bladder. It'll be like, poof. So it'll smell like the devil's own fart for like a nanosecond. He's leaving. He knows it's supper time. I know it's supper time. You know it's supper time. Right. Locking, guys. Imagine you've just watched Ferris Bueller's Day Off, one of the greatest 80s movies of all time, and it's the bit at the end where Ferris comes back on, all right, and he stares right. He's got his bathrobe on. He's staring at you straight down the camera. You're still here? Go home. That clip is going to flash up as soon as I press this button. Happy wargaming.